Well, today is Friday, the 5th of April 2024. So today is Friday, the 5th of April 2024. We are broadcasting live from the Iltv studios located here at University Drive. So once again, welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the local Catholic Christian community. So I welcome everybody who's joining me. And of course, there are two interesting events that is connected with politicians and the Parliament of the Bahamas that I'd like to kind of review. One of them happens to be what? I'm getting old, so I even don't remember what it is, but it has to do with the death of the Free National Movement late Deputy Chairman Donald Saunders. So we're going to talk about Donald Saunders, his mortgage, and how he has no insurance and traditionally pinling. And the UBPs, they had introduced insurance for mortgages so that in the event there is a death, the mortgage is paid off. So something has gone wrong fundamentally and we need to review it. I think it's very important. And then what else are we going to discuss? Well, the Health Minister, Dr. Michael Darwell, has announced that the Progressive Liberal Party is moving forward with the legalization of dangerous drugs. I'm very opposed to that, and I call on Christians everywhere to call on the PLP not to legalize dangerous dope. You're going to see something in a matter of days with this new announcement. We're going to see the works of the devil, because this dope is dangerous. And a lot of the murders, a lot of the robberies, a lot of the crime, it's linked to drugs. Now, you don't have to believe me, okay? But take it from me. It is correct. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save young people. Let us tell the PLP no to dangerous dope. No to drugs, all right? It's dangerous. I say no to drugs. It's powerful. I'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course there are some very interesting topics which are unfolding here in the Bahamas and which requires each of us as citizens to discuss. And we all will recall that the Free National Movement Vice Chairman and former Deputy Speaker and former Member of Parliament for Tall Pines was murdered under mysterious circumstances at Gambia Village. That would have taken place on the 27th of March. And so we have seen a series of events unfolding. Now it has emerged that this politician, this late politician, he has a huge mortgage. In fact, his mortgage, according to the Negro media and according to a priest who is alleged to be his dad, his mortgage is about $300,000. And something fundamentally has gone wrong with this mortgage. And so there is an outstanding bill. For those of you who would recall that in the 60s, my uncle, watch out for me, is Forrester Bow. Forrester Bow was one of the biggest members of the United Bahamian Party. That's the UBP, which was led by then Premier, the late Sir Roland Simonet. And my uncle, Forrester Blow, played a major role in the construction of Yellow Elder, just prior to pinning Arthur Hanna and the Progressive Liberal Party seizing state power and overthrowing the UBP. And I was a young boy, as I can hear the stories of my uncle as he is maneuvering in Yellow Elder, making sure that those homes can be constructed. And one of the requirements that I do recall my uncle Forrester Bow pointing out, now remember, in this mortgage you're going to get an insurance which will protect your family. So if you are a married father and you died, your mortgage will be paid off. And if your wife is a co-signatory of the mortgage, she dies, the mortgage is paid off. So there were thousands of citizens who may have died due to a variety of reasons, and their mortgages were paid off. This was a policy that I believe commenced with Bay Street, commenced with the UBP, because Bay Street either was the lawyer for the banks, owned some of the banks, owned some of the insurance companies, and Bay Street were business people, so they understood the art of business. And so we saw it through the years. You couldn't get a house from the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation unless you also had an insurance to cover it. But in more recent time, we've had certain Negro element who took over the Central Bank of the Bahamas, and they've come up with a new position, which is we can ease the burden and we will not call on the banks to ensure the customers, to guarantee that if customer dies or some misfortune take place, the mortgage is covered. So it would appear that notwithstanding that Donald Saunders is a trained attorney, he is reported to be living somewhere near Western 1 or Western 2 in the vicinity of the double mansions of former Prime Minister Perry Gladstone Christie. And so we now see that he had no insurance, and having been murdered, the mortgage is at $300,000. And at that cost, he would therefore be required to even pay real property taxes. And so there are people who suffer misfortunes and we are called upon to help. I'm in a similar position where I once had a home, but the forces of evil burned it down. So there were many people who assisted me in working towards the completion of the house, and the times were so hard that I decided the house will have two rooms. And so it's a beautiful house now with 2 rooms, and in one of the rooms I have many rooms, and that is the way that I live. So it is interesting to know that Donald Saunders is caught up in this situation because in this case we'll blame this on the F&M. So we're going to blame this on the F&M. The F&M failed to adopt a policy based on humanitarianism, looking out for the poor. And the F&M, perhaps I shouldn't blame the F&M, maybe I should blame the PLP. And the reason for that is, you would recall that Her Excellency the Governor General and Mr. Algernon Allen both served under the Perry Christie administration as co-chairman of Urban Renewal. And then they found themselves in a very, very interesting situation where a person living in a very sophisticated community, hard times had caught up with them, and they developed some big holes in their roof, notwithstanding that they lived in this wonderful neighborhood. The roof was leaking, and the next thing I know, Mother Pratt and Algernon Allen, it's like a state secret, but I used to discover these things. They ordered that the roof be repaired. So I became aware of that, and I started asking them, what are y'all doing repairing the roof of this wealthy citizen? And then they gave a powerful moral argument that citizen was once wealthy, perhaps when he or she was younger, but today they're senior people, got a nice house, but hard time has fallen on them, and the house had to be repaired. I thought it was a great thing, and every other weekend I would ride my taxi in that nice area just to look at how Mother Pratt and Algernon Allen, even though they never been up on that roof, they did a damn good job. So these are some of the things that we are faced with, and so I would want to see this policy where we're going to help all F&Ms. In this case, it's an F&M. I've gotten some report where the F&M has said that they are going to join forces to assist Donald Saunders in perhaps paying off or his family in paying off the $300,000 mortgage. And I think it's a great idea. I think both the PLP and the F&M should come up with a policy that every person who's a member of the PLP and of the F&M, and if they die under these strange circumstances and they leave big, big mortgages, the party will recognize their membership and move expeditiously to pay off the mortgage. I have no doubt that the Free National Movement is perhaps one of the most wealthiest political organizations in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and that the party can find the funds to pay off the mortgage. I have no doubt about that. And I think it's powerful, but we have to return to that policy. The central bank must now insist that everyone who has a mortgage, there must be an insurance on the husband and the wife, so that if one of them should die, the mortgage is paid off. Just paid off. There is the case of a Jamaican woman who's married to a Haitian man. And it's a sad story that the Haitian man, he is dead, but the mortgage didn't pay off. And the Jamaican woman is very, very upset. Every time she received a letter, she would say to me, "But my husband was insured by the bank. What do they mean?" And all I would say in my mind, boy, what a complexity. A Haitian woman married to a Haitian man. And I won't go any further, but it's a nice stone house in the Golden Gate subdivision. So we shall watch Donald Saunders' matter, and I call on everybody, let's give a helping hand. Let's make our own small donation. After all, we're not safe in the country. If Donald is the national chairman of the F&M and he could be shot, because I've been to the spot where he was shot, in the bush, in the backyard, all right? No matter what you're hearing, I've been there and I saw it and I had a video. So if Donald is a big man in our society, deputy chairman, my brother, if I was deputy chairman, now you could do these things to me because I hold no position, but if I was deputy chairman, every gangster that draw near, I would tell him, now listen to me, let me tell you something. Don't mind I living in Black Village. I am the deputy chairman of the Free National Movement, and if you don't draw back, well, heaven have mercy on me and you. So these are some of the things that is happening. I don't know where this will go, and I don't know why the police is taking so long to bring the men to court. It's time that the men are brought to court so that we can see how this thing will fully materialize. But watch what happens when a loved one is taken away, and as a result of the murder of Donald Thompson, we now know his business.
Donald Thompson?
Donald, my friend Donald Thompson is going to be mad with me. As a result of the death of Donald Saunders, we now know his business. So if the church and the F&M say, let's donate, I say, let's donate. But I think we should do it for everybody, because these are some hard times. Well, I'm happy that my spiritual advisor is here. Bradley Rule, welcome to Freedom App.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I just made it here by the, what the old people say, by the skin of your teeth. So much things to get done.
How's the funeral coming?
Plans are just about, wrapping up, basically. Okay. What is today?
Well, today happens
Friday,
to
right?
be Friday, the 5th day of April in the year of our Lord, 2024.
Okay, so we are...
The funeral is still set for tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m.
This is great.
But last night we had the memorial, which was a very interesting service, to say the least.
Okay.
Of course, tomorrow the service is going to be at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
At the Church of God Auditorium, Joe Farrington Road. We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yes.
But I hear raised this issue. I've seen some things on social media, and if I'm not mistaken, I may have seen a GoFundMe.
Yeah, there is a GoFundMe.
Yeah. But certainly, when you look at all the details of a mortgage, right, what I find to be very interesting is that there was supposed to be some insurance taken out, life insurance taken out, on either the primary mortgage holder and also the secondary mortgage holder, based on who would have been making or had the higher salary, who would have qualified for that mortgage at $300,000. And the person that's left behind, I think they should sue the bank or sue whoever gave them the mortgage. The mortgager should be sued because their due diligence was to make sure that every year the insurance premiums are paid in the event, in this case, you have the wife being left behind, who may have been the secondary mortgage holder. She may not have been qualified, or she's not qualified all by herself now to service that mortgage. And that's the reason for having insurance. It's a guarantee. It's a protection. If I were her, I would sue.
What would be the basis of the suit?
Negligence.
Taking
negligence.
Into consideration
that's
that
a part of the
husband is perhaps one of the best civic lawyers in the Free National Movement.
Well, as a former banker, I'm not totally detailed about mortgages, but I could tell you that is what I know, having once held a bank mortgage over a home, that you have two insurances, right? There's insurance that is taken out on the house and property in the event of fire or peril or natural disaster. All right, there's a house insurance that's taken out every year. And then, of course, there's life insurance taken out on the primary mortgage holder. In the event this person dies, the insurance would then pay off the
But you're
bank,
not talking about...
and then the person who's left behind can have a, cover.
But you're not talking about an uneducated man.
That's not my point. My point is that that is what is supposed to be in place.
Did you
every
hear
mortgage? Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. So you're saying that he didn't do due diligence then?
When I went to the what is the name of the place? The Bahamas Mortgage Corporation. The first thing I asked them is, when I die, who's gonna pay for the house?
And what did they tell you?
I'll tell you what they told me when I come back. I'll even tell you who I went to. The people I went to, they were real F&Ms, and they loved me. You hear me? I'll tell you who the F&Ms were. And when I walked in, we were all together, and they protected my interests. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. This is powerful. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. And we have been talking about the murder of the late Donald Saunders, the Free National Movement Deputy Chairman. And we have been addressing a new concern as it relates to him and the fact that he held a mortgage which is worth about $300,000. We have to discuss it because there are many citizens who will find themselves in a similar category where perhaps they have a house and there's no mortgage, but they don't have any insurance on the home. And in the event of a fire, a natural disaster, then they would have lost out. And in the case of a citizen who has a mortgage, but the central bank, I'm going to suggest to you, and I stand to be corrected, that this policy of the central bank was introduced by the FNM. I stand to be corrected. Every FNM would know what the facts are. If I'm wrong, correct me. And there have been political parties who have educated their members. I'll give you an example. About 4 weeks ago, Fox Hill Member of Parliament, the Foreign Affairs Minister, who is the national chairman of the governing Progressive Liberal Party, he had a very interesting community meeting. Everybody was invited. It didn't matter your politics. It was an issue that affected people. So people were invited. The guest speaker was the granddaughter of national hero, the late Sir Milo Boynton Butler, and his granddaughter happens to be decent Loretta Butler Turner. What did Mr. Mitchell invited Mrs. Butler Turner to discuss with his constituents? And he invited them to discuss death and burial and funeral and making the necessary preparation in the event death comes suddenly. Because in my family, and I'm specifically talking about my mother's family, I'm able to get away talking with about my mother's family. If there is a debt, we have to take up collection if we expect to bury that relative. The last time I was sick, my cousin couldn't believe me when I called her and said, listen, you better make sure I don't die because you're going to have to help my wife and children bury me. So they did everything to make sure I didn't die. And so there are many families, at least in the old days, there's a funeral. When Auntie Titty show up, they leave a little $50. These days you die and your family don't show up until it's time for the funeral. But many years ago, everybody show up with a little envelope, the little contribution towards the funeral. So Loretta Butler, she discussed funeral. And I got some people, some relatives who live in Fox Hill, and they, like on my mother's side, and my mother's family could be very macabre. We love death. We love funeral. We love talking about dead things. And they told me how the meeting was so nice and how Loretta told them what you should buy, how to determine the kind of coffin, the kind of clothing, and so forth. And so the people of Fox Hill are being educated because many years ago we had lodges, burial society. If you're dead and you was a member of the burial society, Mama was a member of the Exuma Elevation Association. But they leave all the money of the lodge. I don't want to talk hard about it because Mama, cousin, was in charge and the children them can get mad and say, I mean they daddy. So I better keep quiet. So we have to educate our people. We have to return the law where people get mortgage. We have to find a means to spread the insurance payment over that long period so that in the event debt comes accidentally or deliberately to the breadwinner, the bills will be paid. And I say, you insure the wife as well. Wife die, it's paid off. Husband die, it pays off. But we're dealing with human issues, and we're all human beings, and we all have our different social problems, so we should all be sympathetic and give a helping hand along the way. And that's the society that we live in, and I give God thanks that I have had many occasions where people had to give me a loving hand. People had to help me. People had to guide me. So we should all do the same thing, and perhaps both the Progressive Liberal Party and the Free National Movement will begin to have that human talk with young people who might be interested in a mortgage, young people who might be interested in purchasing a land, a piece of land through mortgage, how to protect it with an insurance. And there are many PLPs and FNMs, either individually or as a group, that owns insurance company. And if they really, really love the people there, I'm certain they can make the insurance very affordable, very affordable. As I think about it, I think Monday I'm going to call Sir Franklin Wilson, because Sir Franklin, it's like he's the only person I could associate with insurance. And somebody did tell me he had some good premiums. So, who knows? Yeah, I think I'm going to call Sir Franklin and tell him there's a couple of things that I need to insure, and how reasonable could he sell me a little bit of insurance. So this is what we're faced with, my spiritual advisor. And I think we all have a duty to give a little helping hand.
Yeah, but I mean, notwithstanding that, I guess folks, when they do take out these mortgages, need to look at this. See, well, the bank always look at security when they lend in monies. That is the first thing, that is foremost in the forefront of all banks. There has to be a security issue in place before you lend money. So I don't know what happened in this case.
There's no insurance. That's what happened in this case.
But let me ask a question.
Complex.
Yeah, what's the legitimacy of this discussion you're having, though? Because there are some who would suggest that this GoFundMe may not be legit. There may be something that's been made up and placed on social media.
Well, I would want to disagree with that, because one of the respectable Negro media is reporting this on their front page.
Oh yes, yeah, I think I see the story.
Identified men in the Christian denomination as leading this push.
Right.
So I have no doubt that these are honorable citizens who is trying to do God's work right here on the earth.
It is legitimate. It is legit.
Yeah. So I have no reason to suspect
that something is wrong with the story.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a lesson to be learned for those who take the mortgages. Just make sure you're safe in the event something happens. You know, you don't want, these things to happen, but it's just so unfortunate that there are times when it does. So and that's one of the big things with insurance. Insurance always is there, just in case. You understand that?
Yeah, but for
just
a
in case.
mortgage, let us go back to the beginning where we ensured that there was an insurance to protect everybody. So I think we need to return to that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
And
because of this case.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
All right? So this is powerful.
Indeed.
Well, having told you that, I'm so troubled when I hear political parties announcing that they're getting ready to legalize dope. And I want people to forgive me, but I'm 67. And at 67, I have not smoked dope yet. So I become very concerned when I read that we are about to legalize drugs. I think it's dangerous. I think it is corrupt. And when you look at the arguments, so I'll give you a simple argument. So we want to legalize dope, but we want to issue license. Why do we want to issue license? If dope is safe, and if we think this will prevent smuggling and corruption and dishonesty, then why can't everybody grow their own dope? If you think that nothing is wrong with dope, why can't we treat the seeds of marijuana like we treat pigeon pea seed, guinea corn seed, sugar apple seed, corn seed? Why can't we do that? We cannot do that because they know that drugs is dangerous. It's dangerous. And we, who are now grandparents, we should be opposed to the legalization of this dangerous dope. And you will see that this is being licensed for special people, special classes. This is the height of gangsterism. When we take into consideration the hundreds, perhaps thousands of Bahamians who died. You remember? Y'all wasn't born, so I'll give it to y'all. I'm going to talk in parable because there's a particular person that I love very much, and I would hate for them to pick up that I'm talking about them. All right? So I'm going to see how best I could do it. But in Andres, the children then took the Colombian dope. They took the Colombian dope, and the Colombian killed all of them. Just killed them. Now, they were successful, according to the rumors, of killing 1 or 2 Colombians. They were successful in having 1 or 2 graveyards in Andres. So, having gone through that, we now going back to legalize it and give the license to them who manufacture it and smuggle it into our country. What is the benefit of smoking? What is the benefit? Now, if they were sincere, they would say everybody could grow their own dope. So, people in my community who've been growing dope from I was a young boy, they can now grow their grass in the front of their yard. Everybody has been smoking dope and growing dope. But the fact that they're going to put in rules, there's going to be policies, right? Tells you that something is wrong. I really wish I could have tell you the story of some gangsters waiting at the harbor. Right there waiting at the harbor. And I know they're going to be the first set to get license. Because the government ain't know there's gangsters. I know they're gangsters because I am told this spiritually. But if I went to the government and say, listen, they're gangsters, and they say, where you get that evidence from? I say, it's spiritual. They say, this man crazy. I don't know what we're dealing with him for. So there we are. We're going to legalize. And you know, our high school children, the private school children, they're more educated, they're more sophisticated. They're the ones who have been making dope cakes, right? And selling it. So we're going to jack up the society, even though the psychologists and the psychiatrists and them in the medical profession, they have warned us that this ain't a good idea. So we want to legalize dope. And we think that this will benefit the country, but it will not. And then you look at the level of hypocrisy. What is the church saying? We have one of the biggest bishop. Listen to me. Some of my prayers is that God would reveal to me whether or not Bishop is smart, because I believe Bishop is on dope, how much he's pushing for the legalization of dope. So I think it's a sad thing that we're going to legalize drugs for our
Medicinal use.
people.
That's
And,
that's what they're saying, not for recreational center.
Yeah. And what
Medicinal.
what medicine they can be using that?
Well,
for?
I mean, they're saying
What
that
disease?
marijuana does have some, you know, medicinal
Give me
use.
the use.
Like, say,
of
for
it.
instance, I
Tell
think
me-
there's some people who have like seizures.
Okay.
There's some folks they discover that after they smoke marijuana.
And they live here in the Bahamas?
Yeah, I know in all the cases.
You have some cases
Yes, where
who have seizures.
seizures, and when they start smoking marijuana, they haven't had seizures since.
Really?
I'm telling you,
And
it's proven. It's a fact.
okay.
It's a fact.
And
So
it's
that is
proven.
what you call
The
medicinal
police
use.
is aware that they're smoking
Don't forget
dope?
now, you can get prescription for marijuana.
Here in the Bahamas?
You know the
I'm asking
the
a question. Educate
yes,
me.
yes.
Now,
yes.
who in the Bahamas do you know is authorized to give joints?
Isn't there what's the act that empowers doctors to be able to prescribe certain drugs?
Really?
What do you call it? Remember,
I-
you often talk about
My
it
spiritual
under the Christian
advisor,
administration in particular.
I don't know of
Don't play crazy now, man.
my spiritual advisor, whether or not you think I'm
I
playing crazy,
I don't think you're playing crazy
would
though.
you please let me answer you? I am not aware of any doctor. Because if I know of any
Doctors can't write a prescription for you to smoke dope?
I do not know of any doctors
Mm.
who in law has the authority to write up a prescription for you to get some dope.
Yeah, I think there is.
If I do, if you ever get their name, give it to me so I can announce it to the whole country.
Yeah.
So
There-
everybody
there's
will
a-
know the doctor
There's something
no
in place.
good is doing that.
It's not,
All right?
not because you have this phobia and this dislike.
I don't have any phobia, my spiritual advisor. Why should
There's-
I?
I understand.
They told me from I was in junior high.
Who's they?
The educators, the people that I respected in the society, they told me that drugs was bad. Then they
Certain drugs, prescription drugs can help you.
spiritual advisor.
You ever hear about prescription
We're
drugs?
talking about marijuana.
Yes, and
We're talking about dangerous
but
drugs.
you can get prescription for marijuana, Sandra. Yes, you can.
Where can I go for it?
If you go to the doctor and the doctor finds out that you have a condition that marijuana can help, you can get it. You know that.
Do you know of a doctor
Stop
that I
that.
can go to?
I can get the name of the doctor and I can get your money.
Yeah, get the doctor name for me
Right.
so I could go with a warrant to.
No.
search
He's
him.
been empowered that he can give prescription.
No, so somebody in the country is lying to me.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I have been told that no one operates and distributes drugs, namely marijuana and cocaine.
But
Lawfully
there are
in
some
the Commonwealth
drugs
of the
that are
Bahamas.
controlled. There's some controlled drugs that
Please,
once you
man.
get a prescription,
Man
you
of
can,
God,
Santa, we have prescription drugs that you can
my
use
spiritual
for certain
advisor,
illnesses.
I don't know of any.
You can't get it over the counter just like that, but if you get prescription, you can get it.
Okay.
What you need? Because you know you scare on bad sometimes. You need something to calm you
You
down.
really want to put me on dope? Huh?
They need something strong for you
We're in trouble.
to
in the
try
country.
get you in order.
Okay, so you
I wonder if I
want the
could
young
find
people to
some.
smoke
I wonder
dope?
if I could find some drugs for you today.
You want them to smoke dope?
Santa, man,
You want the young
no,
people
Santa,
to smoke
no,
dope?
no.
Do you know in the private school it is an infestation?
Yeah, but I'm not condoning that.
Huh?
I'm not condoning that.
And
Santa.
we now want to give it to them?
Santa, that isn't what the newspaper is saying, man. It says medicinal use
My spiritual
for medicine.
advisor-
They want to pass
Ma-
a law to enable you to use it as a medicine.
Okay.
Not recreation.
Medicine.
Yeah. They want you to be able to go in retirement
Okay.
park and light up a spliff. That ain't what they want.
Okay.
All right?
Medicine.
People have seizures, people have certain ailments, illnesses, and it's been proven that what's the thing inside the marijuana, the HT, what? What is it?
Go ahead, talk.
It's an ingredient. What do you call it?
Go ahead, talk.
I'm asking you, man.
I don't know. I've never smoked dope in my life.
You don't have to smoke dope not to know certain things. And
I don't
smoke
know.
Dope. I never smoked dope in my life either.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Never smoked dope. I never, ever smoked dope in my life.
Then
never.
I want you to stop being an advocate for the legalization.
I'm not being an advocate. Man, why don't you read the article in the newspaper and stop being disgusting, man?
Wow.
Read the article.
My
See what it
spiritual
says.
advisor,
Read the article,
my
man.
spiritual advisor, I have secrets. They're things that I know. Okay? They're gangsters at the bar, waiting. All right? If the government is sincere and believe that all of us should have access to dope, you just say marijuana seeds shall be treated as if it is corn seed. But once you start talking about who get licensed from who ain't getting licensed, there's only one County Joe man who's organized to get licensed.
THC?
And
Thank you.
No, I don't mean THC.
No, I was asking what the ingredient is inside.
He is
I was asking for the ingredient and
S or SY.
Yeah, the THC.
Right?
Thank you,
Anyway,
Texture.
y'all go ahead and jack up the country. Put the young people on dope. All right?
Yeah, glaucoma,
Put them on dope.
cancer pain,
Put them on dope.
CBD.
Put them on dope.
See, all these things you can use dope to help glaucoma. Wow.
You and I, doctor now.
No, some folks are just sending me some information.
Okay.
Don't forget, now this information is out there. We live in an intelligent world nowadays,
Okay.
Santa. All right,
Intelligent world
Yeah.
this year. All right.
No.
Y'all go right ahead. Y'all go right ahead. Let the young people smoke dope.
See, for you, in your case, right?
Yes.
I would highly recommend that you do not smoke dope. You see what I'm saying? Because what that'll do to you, we can't handle you now on this show. You can imagine if you was to end up smoking dope
But if
before you
you
come on the
smoke
show.
dope, it will.
Son,
you will
I'm
get
not
the
interested
mindset.
in that.
So why would you put dope on me? Who told you that I am not interested on it? You're not saved, you know. You think it's a joke, eh? There are thousands of impressionable young people who are listening to us every day.
Son, we're not
And I
encouraging-
want those young
But
people.
we're not encouraging young people to smoke dope.
Yes,
Santa.
we are encouraging.
No.
I want you young people to listen to me. Please do not smoke dope. It is not good for your mind. It's not good for your health. Whoever tell you to smoke dope in this country, do not listen to them. Do not listen to them. Okay?
Okay, so the THC, which is tetrahydrocannabinol, tetra, TETRAHYDROCANNABINOL, right? Tetrahydrocannabinol, whatever, how you pronounce that. Also known as THC, is a medical compound utilized to manage and treat chemotherapy-induced nausea, vomiting, stimulate appetite. Natural occurring THC is the principal. Okay, so they're describing this ingredient that is found in this plant and what it could actually be used for. So that is why you find this in the newspapers, and there's some people in the government who's going to push to legalize it for medicinal use. So medicine is good, Santa. And that's the way we want to advance. We want to advance medicine for the health of the nation. You recognize that a lot of people who have seizures, a lot of people suffer from glaucoma and cancer and all these other things.
You might not be aware, my spiritual advisor, that I worked in a psychiatric hospital.
We're discussing silence, man.
And during the period
People
that
came to
I
silence
worked
because they're smoking
at the
dope?
psychiatric hospital,
They came there-
no one has ever been given any medication that derived
Well,
from marijuana.
Yeah, well, you don't give marijuana to crazy people.
All right? So
All right.
the point that I'm making is you're being
That ain't for that's not
irresponsible
for crazy people.
for advocating it. But go right ahead. You're free.
Santa,
My
you know
spiritual
something?
advisor to advocate it.
You're not treating this conversation fairly enough.
I am treating
asked
this
you to
con-
read the article. Read it.
I don't want to read it on
It's
TV
amazing,
today.
eh?
But I have sufficient information.
What does the headline say?
I have sufficient information to know.
Senator, what does the headline
My
say?
spiritual advice, I have it right here.
So read it. I won't hear it. Read it.
No. You read it. All right? I just want young people to recognize the danger of drugs, okay? It's dangerous, very, very dangerous, and it is steep in corruption. Take it from me. Steep in corruption. And I yearn for a day when the Commonwealth of the Bahamas
Epilepsy as well.
will not legalize dope. Say no to dope. Say no to drugs. Parents, let's tell the government not to legalize dope. It's dope. God save our children. God save our mental health. God save King Charles III. It is powerful. No to drugs. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monka, and of course in studio I have some very distinguished guests, including the chairman, I hope I'm saying it,
Executive.
the executive chairman, thank you, of the Bahamas Public Park
And Beaches Authority.
and Beaches Authority. So at my very extreme right is the Member of Parliament for,
The great constituency of Mount Moriah.
this is powerful.
Yes, sir.
And this would be the Honorable Mr.
Mikhail Barnaby.
This is powerful.
Yes, sir.
And in the middle is a woman who has exomian blood. Isn't it powerful? What is your name, my dear?
My name is Tanae Hannah.
Wow, I'm family now to the Hannas.
And you can say your position at the authority.
Yes, my position is Assistant Manager of Public Relations at
Really?
the Bahamas Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority.
This is powerful. And then at the very back, I have two other charming citizen to the extreme right at the back. What is your name?
Okay, my name is Charlene Bridgewater. I am the Chief Executive Assistant to the Executive Chairman at the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority, and I'm also in the Recreational Department.
This is great. And the lady who holds my back, what is your name, my dear?
My name is Lisa Humes. I am the marketing manager at Bahamas Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority.
This is powerful. Well, I'm happy to have you all here, so may I upset you?
Go right ahead, sir. This is your show. We're here to allow you to do what you do, Mr. Monko.
So, how is the island of New Providence looking? Is it nice and clean? Are the grass being cut? What's going on?
I believe we are doing a fairly good job at the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority. Our staff is working overtime, Mr. Munker, and we rate ourselves based on any number of factors, but what we would like the Bahamas to recognize is that we are responsible for covering all green spaces, every park, every beach, every verge, and so it is a daunting task, but it's something that we take great pride in. I think we're doing a pretty good job.
And any comments from the other young ladies in the background?
I think their focus is really the recreational side of things, why we're here today.
Okay.
And we are here just to let members of the public know that the board has created new departments at the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority. We want the citizens to know that we're doing something different.
Okay.
And recreation is something that we're focusing on. We want to take advantage of our green spaces and let the public know that we want to transform the experience that they have on our parks and beaches.
Okay. And so you have established a new recreational department.
Right.
And that would not include the public pool at South Beach, which Marcus' role has not dealt with yet.
Well, I'm not responsible for it, but in this administration, we're just one big team. And so I will also take responsibility if things are falling off. And I believe that we spoke last week, I believe, sometime on that, and I'm not sure where we are in that as yet. But I am sure it is getting our top priority and getting our attention.
Okay.
Right.
So you want to tell me more about that new department, my dear?
Yeah, so as Chairman would have mentioned, we do have some recreational activities within this department.
Yes.
And we have some amazing things coming from the Bahamian public.
Okay.
We actually have an event tomorrow.
Really?
This Saturday. And this is going to be our kids' Easter Fun Day.
Yes.
And it's 1 day, 2 events, 2 parks.
And
So
where
the first,
will they take place?
yes, so the first event will be held at the Tom Grant Park.
Tom Grant
in
Park?
Yellow Elder.
Yes.
The time is from 12 noon to 3 p.m.
Okay.
The second event is at the Pebble Drive Park in Golden Gates.
Okay.
That time is from 2 to 6 p.m. And with this event, this is one of the many activities that we have planned
Right.
that we have put a lot of passion into
Yes.
and thought.
The authority is celebrating its 10th anniversary as well, so we intend to roll out a lot of events around that theme. And I think you can speak to some of the things that we're doing in terms of exercise on the park, the aerobics on the park, getting artisans on the park, all of our green spaces, Goodman Bay, Montague, we're going to have yoga, coming as well on Saturdays. And so we want the public to know that the authority can do more than just what we were known for.
Okay.
We want to be more expansive. We want to diversify. If you travel around the world, you go to London, you go to Canada, you go to all of these different various jurisdictions, you get to see that the authorities, for instance, in New York, they host events. It is also a revenue generator as well.
Yes.
It's something that can generate revenue. We're also looking at weddings on beaches. Creating that to our recreation department. We lose money in terms of on the beaches where there are many businesses that have beach weddings on beaches, and
Yes.
it's not permitted. They don't seek permits from us. And so it's not only a good way of using our spaces, but it also is a revenue generator for us.
You talk about 2 public parks that there is set for 2 activities, 2
Right.
events tomorrow. I know where Tom Grant Park is located. The other one, Pebbles,
Yeah, Pebbles is located in Golden Gates.
help me to find it.
And so what we are going to do is we are going to direct the members of the public to look at our Facebook page. We will have the directions there within an hour after leaving your show. And they just need to go to our Facebook page. I think you can tell them which Facebook page to go to. Right.
So we have started a new Facebook page.
Yes.
The page is Public Parks and Beaches Authority Bahamas. So we want to encourage the public to please follow and like our page. We will update our socials with information regarding our recreational activities and
Right.
events. So stay updated. We have Fitness on the Park coming and many more.
For those citizens who think that your department might not be doing a more efficient job, where can they contact the department to, lodge formal complaints for community assistance and or cleanup as it relates to
Right.
your overall portfolio?
They will be pleased to know, and this is why we've created so many, well, not so many, but we've created different departments that did not exist. And so when I took the chair, one of the things I decided upon is how do we interface with the public?
Yes.
And so we created a customer service department.
Okay.
And so you can just call Parks and Beaches, the number is online. And you,
302-3750.
Repeat that one more time. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
302-3750.
Right, and so we do have customer service representatives. And there's also been a big question, and just to digress a little bit from what you would have asked, the board of the authority, we're looking at the mandate of that is within the act that created the authority.
Yes.
And one of the things we looked at is we've been very Nassau-centric in our approach. And what we've decided to do is expand to the Family Islands.
Okay.
And so we're also creating a Family Island division. And so there are so many different issues on public parks, public beaches throughout the Commonwealth. And I always say at board meetings that we are the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority, not Nassau Public Parks and Beaches Authority.
Right.
And so it's a humongous task, but we know that we can get the job done.
Why is the task humongous?
Because we deal with everything, Mr. Monko. We are responsible for cleaning the island of New Providence.
Really?
That's not an easy task. Besides for liaising with the Ministry of Environment, which deals with bulk waste collection, that's residential garbage collection, we're responsible, as I said earlier, to clean every beach, to maintain every beach, every park. In New Providence alone, there's 220 parks and counting, right? As communities grow, subdivisions grow, there are parks and green spaces that have been incorporated. And you're talking every highway, every byway, every side road, every corner. And so we're responsible for that. And so when I came to the authority, we had maybe 1 or 2 working SCAGs. What we would have done now is built up our equipment. We also now have trailers. We have a new fleet of vehicles that we've never had before at all in our existence. We have new trucks, we have new Jeeps, we have new cars. And this is because not just because we need those things, but it reflects the importance of the work that we do for the public, which is cleaning our country.
Do you have responsibility for the side roads that leads to public beaches, but someone seems to have them blocked off?
Listen, I am so happy that you raised that. This is a working board at the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority. And so we've engaged a very seasoned individual, and you will see, I believe it'll be published in the papers on Monday. I think we're going to get a half page or a full page where we are now going to show the public the access points and the points that that belong to the public. Obviously, we're going to have to send that up to where it needs to go for everything to be executed. You want to send that to the Office of the Attorney General and have them review it, et cetera, et cetera. But we've started the groundwork to make sure that when we get to the end of this particular cycle, the new board is not starting, or the new chairman is not starting from scratch.
So am I to understand then that these side entrances that lead to public beaches that have been blocked off, in addition to putting notices there, you will move and clear it?
What I would like to say is, before we do anything rashly, we want to have legal opinions in place. We have to be able to do that first. We have to do things in decency and order. When you're dealing with those kind of matters, it can be very technical because you're dealing with the rights of the public and then also the rights of private property owners. And so we don't want to move rashly. I don't want to sensationalize it. I know it's a very important issue.
Certainly, private owners have no right to block public road, public thoroughfare, public street,
if I had
entrances.
No, I agree with you if it is defined as public. And what I am saying is, before I speak and I make an utterance, I have to first...
You want to check?
We want to determine whether it is public.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So we're on the same page.
All right, well, I won't
push out an open
give
door.
you a little helping
Yes, sir.
hand by telling you it is public.
Yes, sir.
And when you see reservation for the crown,
Right.
That's the king.
We are focused. If you listen to the mandate from the speech from the throne, the speech from the throne sets the policy, sets the mandate of the government. And in the speech from the throne, it was stated, and we're quoting it in the publication that will come out on Monday, that it is a top priority to allow Bahamians and to make sure that we protect the rights of Bahamians to be able to have access to beaches. So that's top priority for us, and it's top priority for the board at Public Parks.
now when we
Beaches.
talk about beaches and having access to beaches, may I take you along the Eastern Road and let us stop at a beach we shall call Fort Montague.
Okay.
If you're standing on the shorelines looking towards the north, from time to time you will see quite a lot of yachts.
Right.
Who appear to just have their anchor in the water. They're not docked at any of the marina.
Yes, sir.
And I'm certain you must have heard all of the allegations of them not having any proper toilet facilities to get rid of their waste, and so forth and so on. So when we talk about public beach, does that end at the sand, or does that extend into the water where many of those yachts appear to be parked illegally?
That's a very interesting question that has so many different components attached to it. So you're asking me about the high water mark, and then you're also speaking about entering into the water. Well, when you enter into the water, that's where my jurisdiction ends. So I would not want to speak out of turn as it relates to what should occur there from a policy standpoint. From a Bahamian perspective, I would say if something like that is happening, then it needs to be brought to the attention of the proper authorities. And so what it appears to be, from what you would have just stated, we're talking about an environmental issue, right? And so we know where we go when we have environmental issues. And then we're also talking about traveling across water, We also know where we need to go when we're talking about traveling across water and docking. And so, but as it relates to the beach that falls under the jurisdiction of parks and beaches, the high water mark is always a public access point. We know this because of, I mean, it's been around from Noah Build the Ark, it's from shipwreckage law. When a ship gets wrecked, you always want to be able to have someone to be able to land on land, to come up on shore. And so I don't want to be overly pedantic, but I have to respect the jurisdiction of other portfolios.
Do you think you have a political obligation to educate us and tell us where you think your authority ends, who we should go a step further to lodge a formal complaint?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, yes, and I think I'm saying that if it's an environmental issue, then you would look at the Ministry of Environment, if one in fact exists. And then a determination will be made from the proper authorities. What I don't do, Mr. Monker, and I'm very concerned, let me just put that on record, I am extremely concerned based on what you're saying, but the way we govern is to do things in a very logical manner. It's not a knee-jerk response. When you get on in a public space and you make public pronouncements, people rely on that. And so I have to be very, very, very responsible in what I say and in my responses. And so I would say, based on what you've said to me, we're looking at the ministry that I've already mentioned. And as you're talking about traveling across land, then you're talking about transport. And so I think those would be the relevant areas in which a complaint could be lodged. And that's my opinion on that. But I am very, very, very concerned. Very concerned.
And do you have a duty to share your complaints?
Of course.
With colleagues?
And let me say this. Every minister that I've come into contact with, and we come into contact with us regularly, we communicate regularly, they would be aghast by what you would have just mentioned. And I will make a commitment and relay exactly what you would have said to me. I am telling you that they're passionate about what they do. The Minister for Transport is one of the most passionate ministers that we've had in that area in a very long time. The Minister of Environment, both ministers are doing a yeoman's job. They were on Golden Gates Park removing derelict vehicles just very recently, and they're very passionate about what they do. And I know once I get that message over to my colleagues that they would just jump at the opportunity to show the public how serious we are about getting things done.
In terms of the environment, what is the state of your constituency?
We're doing great, actually. But to say it again, you have to extrapolate it. You have to break it down. In Yellow Elder Gardens, we have something called the service roads where the power lines are. And so the power lines run from the homes and power the homes. Members of Parliament, successive, have had to struggle with that in terms of keeping it clean, because it has really become an area where outsiders come and dump. They don't want to traverse the public dump, and so they just make the rounds there. It's quicker, it's faster, they get in and out. And so I've actually been judged. People say, man, that's all Barnaby want to do, just be on the service roads cleaning all day. But what I've decided is I'm going to do what the constituents want me to do. And what they want me to do is to keep the area very clean. And so from time to time, we have dumpsters. From time to time, we have teams that go out and clean the service roads. And they've been doing that very regularly. And I would invite you one of these days to come through with me, and maybe we can do a walkabout so you can see what I'm talking about. But the issue for us is not the cleaning. The issue is really the dumping. You know, it breaks my heart. I can be cleaning the service roads and somebody will come up and just dump right in front of me. And so so it's not the effort. And you use the word, how do we educate? I think we have to have a campaign, and we've discussed that at the office, the campaign. How do we get members of the public to understand? I want them to be able to see the SCAG operators in the morning when they get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They leave their families. They go on the airport road and they're cutting the roads, and people just throw in garbage as they're cleaning. I want them to see the human part of parks and beaches. One of the things that I sometimes crack jokes with with my colleagues, and I tell them, I say, listen, man, we're more than contracts. We're more than contracts. They are human beings.
What do you mean when you say that you are more than contracts?
Meaning that the authority, the vision of the authority is to create an environment that Bahamians can be proud of, right? Our green spaces. You know what I'm talking about, Mr. Monko, when you drive on the airport road and look like a golf course. Your car feel a little better. You feel like you're moving a little faster in a safe way, obviously, because I know you wear your seatbelt. So, but the point I'm making is where our attention is on being holistic. Hence the reason why we have a dynamic public relations officer. Hence the reason why we have a recreation manager. Hence the reason why I have the marketing manager here. Hence the reason why we've done the Adopt the Roundabouts. We have corporate giants that have adopted the majority of the roundabouts throughout New Providence. So we have companies such as Commonwealth Brewery, Bahama,
Canada, Iltv, Verizon group of companies. We have also
Doctors Hospital.
Doctors Hospital.
And I also, there's a small business that we want, the Watch Doctor, we want to highlight him as well.
Yes.
What I am saying, and it's not to be facetious, it's not to be political, but it's to articulate the idea that we can do more. And we are only limited by our vision and our imagination and our ingenuity. And these young ladies here, they're unlocking that ingenuity. They're bringing it to the fore. And these are Bahamians. And so, you know, we're just showing the public what you can do with something. Look what you can get when you're tired of what you got. Right? So we don't want to get tired of what you got. We want to put a little spin on it. We want to fix it up and dress it up, you know?
So
Yes, sir.
tomorrow, what will happen tomorrow?
Fun. Fun.
Fun will
Fun.
take place where?
Yellow Elder Gardens Park and Pebbles Park in Golden Gates. Everybody know where Tom Grant Park is. That's where they come to play tennis, and you have all the senior citizens come out there. People come out there to walk and play. Bring the children out. Let them have some fun. We have hot dogs. We have hamburgers, and let's take care of them. The kids are our #1 investment. When I walked around my community, I knocked on the door, and they say, "Who you is? What's your name? Barnaby?" They say your name Barnaby. I say, no, it's Barnaby. They say, what you here for? I say, Mom, I'm a return on your investment. They say, a return on my investment? I say, you've been paying taxes. I went to public schools. I went to some private schools too, but I went to public school, and I'm knocking on your door as a return on investment. And this is what I want the Bahamian public to see when we're helping our kids, that one day they will also be a return on investment. Ms. Hannah is a return on investment. Ms. Bridgewater is a return on investment, and so is Ms. Humes. And so we're just pouring it back into the communities from whence we came.
Well, as we draw near to the end of the show,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you all the final words.
I would let my esteemed
Yes.
colleagues.
So we do want to once again encourage the public to stay updated to our Facebook page, our TikTok. Our Facebook page is the Public Parks and Beaches Authority, Bahamas. And we also want to encourage you to come out tomorrow. We have giveaways while supplies last. Come and get your Easter bucket. We have face painting, snow cones, popcorn, bouncing castles. So please come out. 2 parks, 1 day. Stay tuned to our social media pages.
I have to say this, Rodney.
Go ahead.
I called my mother about a year ago, and she was on the road, and I said, "Where you is?" She said, "I with Rodney Monka."
She's one of the women there.
I's one of the women there.
Lord, I thank you.
Karen Barnaby,
For the
one of the
woman
women
there.
there. Yes.
God save the women then. God save the king. God save the Commonwealth.
Yes, sir.
I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you, too.
Thank you very much.
Vice Supervisor, can you give us a quick picture? Welcome back to Freedom Arts. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course we had with us the executive chairman of the Bahamas Public Beaches and Park Authority, Mikel Barnaby, and his staff. So that is powerful. And of course, shortly we will open up the airways, so just bear with us. And we will, open up the line. It's a long weekend, so I want people to be safe. Today is Friday, and this is when a lot of young people go out. A lot of young people hang out in the front of nightclubs and even in neighborhoods that they're not even familiar with. And we live in a period now where we don't know what our sons and daughters and neighbors are doing. So you have to be very, very careful. The government has introduced a gangster bill, a bill designed to deal with gangsterism. And I was blessed that I went to the House of Assembly to get 2 copies of the bill, which over the weekend I shall study and attempt to become an expert at this proposed bill. And I want citizens to do the same thing. I want them to get their hands on this proposed gang bill so we can see whether or not it is strong enough for what we need to combat gangsterism, taking into consideration that we have Haiti as our example, and in no country, no nation, no society should gangsterism be tolerated. We have many world events which demonstrated that gangsterism can lead to terrible governments. We saw it in Germany. We saw Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler emerged as one of the biggest gangsters, and you saw what happened to Germany. We saw in Japan during World War II, the gangsterism was so big that the Americans dropped more atomic bomb on them. I think the first atomic bomb, which they dropped in perhaps August of maybe 1945, if I do have it right, they killed 71,000 Japanese just like that. The sins of Japan were so great, the only way the Americans could have cured it was just bomb them with atomic weapons, because gangsterism. And so we see the reports of gangsterism in Haiti. And as that is revealed, I'm beginning to see many of our citizens who looks just like barbecue. And these are citizens who have no Haitian roots, They have no Haitian roots. So we have to fight gangsterism. We can't tolerate it. And there is lots of gangsterism in the country, but we have this bill. My spiritual advisor, are you ready for the funeral?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, forgive the hat on my eyes. Yeah, as ready as could be.
You're ready for the funeral?
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's just going to be one of those days I've never experienced.
One of those days. What time is the funeral tomorrow?
The funeral starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the Church of God Auditorium, Joe Farrington Road.
This is a Joe Farrington Road.
Yeah, of course, officiating the service would be the overseer, one of the overseers in the Church of God, Moses Johnson.
10 a.m.
Yeah, he'll be bringing the eulogy.
And this funeral is open to members of the public?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone who wishes to come can come.
Are you going to show up to my father's funeral?
My spiritual
I would be obliged if you do.
My spiritual
It would
advisor.
really make me feel good that you would come to support me.
Listen to me.
Emotionally. And as
I
a
thought
comrade
about
and
you
colleague.
all day. I was at a secret place, and every now and then when I turn away, they try to figure out what I was doing. I was just weeping for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So I'll come to the
Yeah.
funeral, but if I become too emotional, you will notice that I leave.
Don't leave, Santa. I mean,
my spiritual
my
advisor.
mom would be very, very appreciative if you and the Minister of National Security could show up there tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to make
she
sure.
talks so much about you too.
I'm gonna
you know
make-
something? Here's what I
My
find.
spiritual advisor.
Let me tell you
I'm
what
gonna
I
make
find
sure
to be immoral
the
about
minister
you. Right?
is going to be there. He's going to represent me and him.
Every time my mother see me, she always asks, "How's Mr. Munker? How's Mr. Monroe?" Because what has happened is you and Mr. Monroe has had a serious impact on the older community during COVID. Remember during the lockdown?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Mr. Minister of National Security could have always found a way to, was he the Minister of National Security at the time? No. But he could have always found a way to get through traffic and get to the station here without having any issues with roadblocks and so on and so forth. Right? You could find this way to get that done. But my mother always asks about you and Wayne Monroe.
Yes.
So if the Minister of National Security could show up to the funeral tomorrow,
But listen to
that'd be
me.
much-
I'm going
I
to be
would be
there.
obliged if he
but
could.
I'm going to come, but I want you to know that it's going to be very emotional for me, and I really don't want to cry.
Santa, you know something? Don't hide behind emotions, man. Just be straight up.
I'm gonna
You
be
coming
there.
over, because you believe you slick, you see?
My spiritual advisor.
Listen, I've been to St. Augustine's College, you know.
Wow.
I'm not stupid. Don't hide behind emotions. Are you going to come to support me? Don't forget now, you see what's happening here? You're on national TV, and I'm calling you out. Because right now people say, listen, that's supposed to be boy, right? Now, why he ain't showing up? T-Daddy.
Who told you I'm not showing up?
You see what I'm saying?
Huh?
You starting to run on with your emotions as if like, I'm going to be emotional. You think I'm going to leave the funeral? No. I have to sit this
Yeah,
out.
but you
from the
want me and you hollering at the funeral.
Anyhow.
All right? Mine is holler hard, you know.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah. So,
Okay. But listen, my mom would be happy if you do.
Yeah.
If you show up.
Okay.
And if you show up, when I go to speak about my father, because I am giving a tribute, I would make sure that I list you as an honored guest. I'll be happy to have you.
Well, you know, I have to be there.
I would appreciate
I
that.
have to be there.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, last night,
You couldn't send one of those special cars for me.
if you can get to the house, you can always get one of those cars. All right, they're rather expensive,
Wow.
to say the least. But last night at the memorial, you know, you have friends who've been supporting you all your life. I had
Yes.
two high school friends showed up to the memorial last night.
Yes, yes.
These have been friends of mine from 1977.
Wow.
And it's amazing, through all those years, from 77 to 2024, we're
That's a
still
long time.
friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have some friendships that are, you know, they have no value to them. They're invaluable. They're priceless.
Wow.
And when they show up last night, Stan knows that I love her dearly. And of course, Monique, you know, they showed up to the memorial. I was just happy to see them. And I am thankful that they did take time out of their busy schedule to come and be at the memorial last night. But it's my father. It's the last mile of the way. Tomorrow, it's gonna be kind of tough.
How many of his siblings have
He's the
survived?
last. He's the last one.
Really?
He's the last man.
No
he was the
more
last man that
brothers,
was
no
standing.
sisters?
No brothers. Everybody has died out. He's the last one.
What about uncles and aunts?
I don't know if he has any uncles or aunts alive, but he does have some nieces and nephews that are alive.
Okay.
You know, but my father was the last man standing,
Really?
and now he's
gone.
He's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
You had a wonderful father.
Listen, I had a wonderful life with him.
Yeah.
I wish that, you know, young men could have had a father like mine. Mind you, I had a really rough father who was really strict. He was extremely strict. We grew up in the Camp Road area, and, you know, his strictness really caused, you know, some of us to really understand the value of moral and principle and, you know, being children that you should be. Don't get arrested, don't go to jail, don't go before the courts, you know, things of that nature. And I lived that out.
Right.
Never
Right.
smoked dope, never been in jail, never been arrested. You know what I mean?
That's wonderful.
Because of the principles that he's set forth. He took care of his family.
Mm-hmm.
His wife never worked.
Wow.
He was a hard-working man. He was a successful contractor. He started out with Cavalier Construction, and he just blossomed into a wonderful mason. He's built a bunch of homes for the government. He's helped Bradley Roberts build his home.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah. He helped Bradley Roberts. I worked on Bradley Roberts' house as a young boy. I helped my father push
which
the
one
thing
of the
up for the
homes are you
driveway.
referring to?
Skyline. Listen,
The
Bradley
one
Roberts
by the pool?
Yeah.
By the
on the lake.
on the lake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bradley Roberts and my father were like this. Listen, I tell you no lie. I tell you no lie. Whenever I saw Bradley Roberts, the first thing he would ask, "How's your father?" I kid you not. Every time I saw him,
Wow.
"How's your father? How's your father? How's your father?" Bradley Roberts, the former member of parliament from Bainstown, the doctor.
That's Dr. Bernard Nottage?
Oh, him and Bernard, like this.
Really?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
A lot of times I went to when I came to my father's house, but Dr. Nottage was there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I believe my father and Dr. Nottage did some business together because I think Dr. Nottage ended up building a house in Campanile.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So him and my father good friends. My father met some really good
So
people
your father remained faithful to the philosophy.
of the Progressive Liberal Party. I tried to persuade
How
him.
did
Otherwise,
you go contrary?
listen, when Papa came to power, I tried to convince my father to become an F&M. But he said, "Who, me? No, sir."
He
No, sir.
refused.
Yeah. He said, "Ingram?" He said, "Man, you got to
What
be
caused
joking, man."
you to go contrary to the wisdom of your
It's
dad?
not. Don't use this. Don't use the word contrary. We do have a right to choose.
What caused you to
I just
establish this right
Yeah.
to choose against your father?
I just decided, that the Pinland era was on its way out.
Okay.
And when you look at the philosophy of the PLP and the progress of the PLP, they did a lot. But somewhere along the line, the Progressive Liberal Party lost focus.
And this was
it was time for
in
change.
1992.
92, yeah, it was time for change.
Okay.
Penland, no doubt, is the father nation. The PLP has done a lot for this country.
Mm-hmm.
But, all of the corruption that swirled around the Progressive Liberal Party, especially during the Commission inquiry, it kind of caused a bit of a
And
stain
you
on the country.
remembered the Commission of
And I
Inquiry.
remember these famous words. I cannot recall.
And
they became very popular.
And
during
that was
period.
the Commission of Inquiry?
It may have been that, I don't know, but it may have been something else. But I remember those words. They call it a fatal disease.
Okay.
I cannot recall. But, my father was convinced that the Progressive Liberal Party was his party, that he was going to remain faithful to it, and he did. And, that's it. I applaud him for it. But,
And you,
I just love Ingram.
and notwithstanding that your father remained faithful to the CRAB, faithful to the PLP, you continue to hold on.
There was a time when
To the torch.
there was a time when I supported the PLP,
Really?
Yeah, as long
Tell
as,
me about that.
as long as I was in my father's house, I supported the PLP.
Okay.
Because
Well,
in his house, you don't have an opinion.
really?
No.
Okay.
When you're in Rome, you have to do what the Romans do.
Okay.
All right.
And your father was a Roman.
And of course, every PLP candidate that ran in Yamacraw, he made sure that they know that he was, in fact, a PLP. I am thankful. We got some calls? Okay. You almost there? Yeah. I am thankful for the office of the Member of Parliament for Yamacraw. I think Zane Lightburn's office had reached out to us today to give their condolences on the passing of my father. I think they do recognize that he, of course, was a very strong PLP, and the office did reach out to give condolences. So let Mrs. Ian Lightburn know that he can contact me at 814-6096, or he can try and see if he could reach my mom to give her condolences at 394-7246. So my contact, of course, is 814-6096. We could take a couple calls. Oh, we got some birthdays? I am so sorry, people. We got caught away. Let's do some birthdays quickly. Okay. I'm sorry, birthday folks. Forgive me. Okay, shoot them to me. Shoot them to me, please. Where we at? There we go. We want to wish this beautiful young lady here a happy birthday. Let me see if I can find the studio. There you go. Happy birthday to this beautiful Jonelle Green, who celebrates a special birthday today. Celebration, of course, with love comes from her parents, a grandmother, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, and a special loved one. We love you. Enjoy your day. Happy birthday to Jonelle Green. And then we got this young, okay, and so we want to wish a happy birthday to Juan Hannah. It's coming from her grandparents, Edmund and Geraldine Lewis and family. Happy birthday to Juan. All the best to you. We hope you enjoy your birthday, and of course we hope you live to enjoy many, many more. And then of course we get this young little toddler. Happy 6th birthday to Tanaje Hutchinson. Or Tanaje Hutchinson, coming from his parents, his brothers, Terrence Jr., and all who love him. Enjoy your special day. Happy birthday, young. Huh? That's a girl? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it? Oh, yes, it is. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Happy 6th birthday. I was looking at the name. Denaja Hutchison. Forgive me. My specs. Blame it on my glasses, okay? I'm so sorry, young toddler, for doing that to you. Let's take a couple of calls. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you all?
We're doing well. Thank you.
Wonderful. This is Shandika, Mr. Monco.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Yes, I'm great. I quickly want to say that I agree with spiritual advisor on this one when it comes to the legalization of marijuana. I think that's the
Dangerous drugs.
scientific name for it. For medicinal purposes only.
Yeah,
Don't mind them.
Many people
Medicinal use.
that have cancer and diabetes and all, I mean even autism that are greatly
yes.
impacted and will be blessed
Autism.
and relieved.
Let them
Maybe
do that.
relieved of their
Let them
problems.
do that
And we have to
away.
remember that God said that the healing of the nations is in the leaves.
Okay.
And so I just want you to think about that. So how many people will be phenomenally relieved of their ailments due to the legalizing of this?
Well, I can't think of anyone. All the people that I can think of who were smoking dope, who were taking a bummer. Do you know what is a bummer?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that you don't know what is a bummer, but I got your point. I want to thank
sir.
you for your
I just
comments.
want you to meditate down on the
Oh, no. I do not. No. No.
In the lives of so many people.
No. I'm not meditating on dangerous dope. I see the result of it every day.
That's when they use it in the wrong way. They abuse that plant.
Okay.
So, you be blessed.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a
my
good
dear.
weekend.
Do well.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yes, sir. Very blessed. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon.
I want to say to you, be encouraged. Earth has no sorrow that heaven cannot cure. Your father mansion has just been finished. He just went to a better place. This old robe of flesh, he just drop and cease the everlasting bride and say farewell to this man and sinful work. And I like to send a shout to everybody which about to deport the loved one back to mother's grave. That earth has no sorrow that heaven cannot cure. And let us continue to pray for the male seeds of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the sick and the short and to those and incarcerated. And to you, Mr. Spiritual Advisor, Mr. Monk, you all be encouraged, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord. For the family that prays together stays together. And I pray that God will strengthen your mother and your sisters them in this hour of bereavement. You have a blessed day, and I like to send a show to everybody that knows Ezekiel. Brother Joe.
Brother
God
Joe.
bless you. Have a blessed afternoon. God bless you.
Thank you so much. God. Take care. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Call you there, 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March. Okay, we lost that call. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Hey, yes, spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir.
How are you? Brother Michael.
Sir.
Brother Michael, do y'all take calls when I have guests come on your show?
It depends on how the Spirit guides me.
Because I wanted to really ask the gentleman you had on the phone. I just wanted to find out how could I go about getting a park named after a prominent person.
You need a park named after a prominent person?
Dr. Bernard Norwich. The park in Kennedy South.
Okay, well,
No secret. We're working on it.
Well,
I want to know what procedures we could go through.
Well, I think the first thing you ought to do is to petition the National General Council of the party.
Yeah, that should be easy.
And then direct the party to petition the Prime Minister and the Cabinet to carry out the command of the party.
I already have quite a few signatures on a paper from the people in Kennedy who really wants this park to be named after Dr. Norwich.
Well, this is powerful. You can also...
The park don't have a name.
Well, you can mobilize that. You even can march the people to the PLP headquarters and have them nail a poster demanding that name. Make it exciting.
We have to do something for Dr. Norwich, man. He, you know.
Let me know. I perhaps will give you a hand and show you how to organize it.
Okay, we'll get on with that. But Special Advisor.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate
Tomorrow
your
is your day. Do well and,
Thank you.
you know, God will be with you.
Thank you so much. Take care now.
Yeah.
Take care. Have a good weekend. Welcome to Freedom Mosque Squad. You're live.
Special Advisor,
Yes, sir.
have a great sympathy.
Thank you so much.
And may you enjoy all the best and the principles of your dad, who, like my dad, taught me all the principles in every way. So that's the most important. And carry on his name. Never bring down his name.
Thank you
My
so
dad
much.
taught me that too. So I'm Randy Monka.
So,
I support medical marijuana.
really?
Yeah, my doctor said I need medical marijuana. I have what you call a muscle problem.
How do you use it in your muscles?
I haven't used it yet because it's illegal.
Oh,
I mean, it comes legal. I want to use it. That's why I support it.
did they tell you how they will apply it to you?
I gotta go in detail because there's so many ways you can apply it, but however, it's made by the pharmacy.
Okay.
It will be administered by a doctor. But on a regular basic you ever taste marijuana tea?
No, I've never tasted.
Oh man, it tastes it down in Jamaica.
Okay.
It tastes good. It's better than coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to learn. We cannot criticize that you get both sides. Talk to Jamaicans. Marijuana is great. That's like sour seeds. When I'm sick,
I have
take sour
I have
seeds.
a whole Jamaican that I talk to.
Okay, talk to them some more.
Yeah,
And
okay.
sour seed marijuana. God give us that. God give us the best marijuana in the Caribbean.
What about monkey tamarind? God give us monkey tamarind as well. Use
But
that?
there's a purpose for monkey tamarind too.
Okay.
Send that to the president. Have a good day.
I thank you.
Yes. All right.
Hello, can you give me the number of the eye doctor?
Yes. Dr. Danny Johnson. Hold on, my dear.
Hello?
Hold on. Let me get it quickly. I thank you for reminding me.
Hello, Mr. Manka?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can find Danny. Goodness of mercy.
Hey.
Hello? I'm looking for the number.
Someone else? Where?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Welcome to Freedom Mosque Caller. You're live.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. You're live, caller.
How you doing? I'm Cuz.
Yeah, I'm fine. How you doing?
Yeah,
Great.
I'm sorry I can't make it because of the Lake Hills funeral.
Okay, but I know your heart is there.
Feeling good.
Okay, I'm so
Not
sorry.
feeling good.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
What I want to mention about the marijuana, I had a son who was a known asthmatic. And the thing is, every time he had asthma, he had to be admitted. And I noticed that to smoke this thing. And he never had asthma since. And he said, Mommy, 'cause I'm asthmatic also. He said, Mommy, he tried it. I said, boy, that ain't getting my stuff. And we had a sister at our church. She's 7 days that medicine lady. She died. Mr. Moore said, just burn it and drink it. But I'm still afraid. I say he's suffering from asthma, and my son is clear.
Okay. Just don't let the commissioner of police know where you all live.
No, I ain't getting it. I ain't getting it. Like,
Yeah.
I still suffer from my asthma.
Okay.
So, too bad I'm on the bend inhaler, and I'm on the Becatide.
Okay.
So why don't you go to the doctor?
Yeah, but my son, he's clear.
Right. So what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I use my pipe.
Listen, I don't want you smoking no dope, okay?
No, boy. I
You
ain't do
sound
that.
like a young...
So I tell you, I say, I don't know, but they say it's good sleep, and I would like to be
You
clear
listen
by
to
us.
me. You're not to smoke any dope, okay?
I will not.
It's a sin.
I will not.
Right, and so I want you to realize that dope is not good for you.
All right, we're at the end of the show.
No.
We're at the end of the show.
Dr. Daniel number is 376-7651. 376-7651. Monday if it's God's will. My spiritual advisor,
If it's the Lord's will.
God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. Let there be peace in our land. Do well, everybody.